Hi, welcome to this plenary session. Today we will have Nicera. She's awesome, and I have to say that this is the session that I have been waiting the whole week to see. She's going to talk about community mappers. She's the creator of community mappers, the chairperson there now. And she's from Africa, from Nairobi. And she has been working during this COVID to make open data more available to everyone. And she's going to touch a very delicate subject, which is colonialism and data colonialism, which is something people from the northern side of the world should hear very closely, because we are repeating some mistakes we already did in the past, and we shouldn't. So, Nifera, whenever you want, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much, Maria. And yeah, my name is Nisera, and I come from a big city, and it's a big city with many informal settlement. And I live in one of the informal settlements, that is in Kibra. And we are here because we want to speak about how can we make our communities better. Did you know that living in the slum can be fun? Oh yes, it can. If we all make sure that the information, the data that we collect, we make good use of it, we can make this place that you see here in my first slide very much better. But this is not happening. Why? Because each and every time that information is taken in our slum, each and every time I hear a knock in the door, I'm very sure it's someone who wants to ask me some questions. Questions about my community, questions about health, questions about housing. But again, when I answer these questions, they don't come back again to tell me, we took your information. This is the report. This is what we want to do with your information. We don't seek such kind of things. And to tell you for sure, like when we were having the, during the COVID period, because in Kenya, it hit us on the March 3rd. And we saw organization now drifting from the normal to the abnormal, whereby now we were all in technology, collecting data through the phones. But my question as a person was, imagine that Mama Mboga, imagine that person who just lost his job because of the COVID. How can he even access data to open that link and answer the information? But again, we were having reports on daily basis based on COVID, and all the other issues were left out. And I remember this is a community whereby we have so many things happening day in, day out. Thank you so much and welcome to my talk. And I'm going to talk about data colonialism, but in a positive perspective. For we want to make our communities better. So, as I told you earlier, this is my community, and this is where I live. And we want to have our rights. And when I talk of rights, I'm talking about data. Data is human rights. We want to be visible through data. We want to be in the map. If I might ask, how many for those people who are listening to me, how many informal settlements do you think we have in Nairobi City alone? Or maybe in Liberia? Or in Africa, how many informal settlements do you think we have? And that's why I'm saying we need to be visible. We need to change the way of doing our things, and we need to make sure that we are being counted in each and every step to make this place that you're seeing here in the map a better place. In our communities, we are facing challenges, let me say that, and these are the global challenges. For example, the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. the climate change, of which now when you talk about the climate change, the context of the climate change, the informal settlement is different from the global context. The migration, every day, our communities receive new people who are coming to live in the informal settlement. These people are coming from the rural areas. We also have the local challenges. And the local challenges, for example, like the infrastructure, the issue of housing, the hazards, the flooding areas, contamination, the open trash, something that I'll be talking about in this presentation. Security, there's no security. And this, especially during this period of COVID, we've had a lot of cases of insecurity, young people getting killed because of insecurity, the evictions, lack of rent tenure, and the street crime. And remember, these challenges that you're seeing, we are facing them both at the same time. We are having the pandemic, but at the same time, we are having the evictions. How is that? Imagine a government that says that you need to social distance, you need to there's curfew whereby you are told at 7 you are not supposed to be out of your house, and you get evicted by the same government. How is that? The other thing is about the climate change. We are talking about the climate change at the global level, but then at the local level, we are talking about the flooding. And this is what I was talking about. Whatever you're seeing here, I'm telling you for sure, there are people who lost their life during this period, and it pains me. And you can see we are talking about the pandemic, but again, there's contamination. This contamination can lead to other diseases, the cholera. But then I'm saying there's hope, or is not lost, because when we work together and when we come together, the organization, the community mappers, for example, the researchers, the students who are listening to me, we can make our communities better, and we can change all these things that I'm talking about. From data colonialism to data poor. Are you ready? Open data. Why open data? We want open data because for me as a person, I don't see any need of taking data and keeping it in your laptop. It doesn't help. Open data because this data can be used by students. This data can be used by lecturers in university. We want fair data. Fair data in what context? We want fair data whereby if you ask me information, if you come to my community to ask me for information, make sure you use that data in a fair way, and make sure that data helps me at the end of the day. The interpretation, I'll say this, for example, in community mappers, interpretation, we need you that is listening to me, to make sure now we are putting this data into a way that it's simpler for people to understand, for the stakeholders, for the government to understand. People who can make sure that this data is of benefit to us and the community. If it is not interpreted, then even if we collected the data, it is not that useful. And I can say data is for change, and data is the new currency, and every organization is looking for this data. And when you make it open, when you make it fair, interpretable, the transfer of data, we can make our communities better. Wow. Are you ready for this? This is a trash characterization survey that we did during this period of COVID. Why did we do that? It's simply because we saw many of the people and many of the organizations were not ready to take such kind of surveys because we were all into the COVID situation. And then our communities were getting dirtier and dirtier. And that's why we said, okay, we are doing this and we are reaching out to some organization to make sure that this will happen. This will happen, the trust study will happen. And where we reached out to some organization that, as I said earlier, and that was the Urban Lab, the Slum Map, a research project financed by the Bear Spawn, the Idea Map, which were very useful in designing this survey, the University of Twente, and of course, us, the community mappers. And this survey was done in Mathare, Majengo, Kibra, and Kariobangi. And now I am going to show you a video, and welcome. Enjoy this video.
Solid waste management is one of the greatest environmental health challenges and continues to overwhelm local authorities and national government as urban population continue to rise and consumption pattern change in the urban slum. Here in Kariobangi, we meet Eric, who is CEO of Aslimali Enterprises, a business about waste management.
Environment, somehow it has been neglected. A lot of efforts are being put in place. It's trying to manage, conserve, and protect it. That's one of the initiatives that I'm involved in my efforts towards protecting and conserving the environment. It has taken a lot of my time and energy, resources to put together a team of young people who are conscious about the environment.
Waste always littered everywhere, and we realized that this can be a source of opportunity and a source of income. Why can't we start a project that can bring some income and again add more value to our environment? We started venturing by volunteering in doing cleanups activities, planting trees, doing landscaping.
In our efforts to advance, to grow as a people, we ventured into industrial programs that in most cases I believe are harmful to environment. You'll find people just being careless with their waste. Instead of handling their waste properly and the way it's supposed to, they've adapted that attitude that I like to call not in my backyard syndrome. So we decided to sensitize, participate, get involved, bring the community together to protect or to play a role in conserving the environment. And give the young people resources, because young people are the biggest resource that we have.
Here in Mathare, we meet Lawrence Otieno, who has taken initiative to help in garbage collection. Due to challenges they face, it is now hard for them to serve the whole community.
By 2014, 2015, things were very smooth. At the beginning of 2016, 2017, place yenye tulikuwa tunadampia takataka, Kanjo ilikataa tusidamp hapo. Juu sisi tulikuwa tunafaitia ku make sure environment iko clean. Kanjo alikuwa anatuadvise tukibeba takataka, we return it back to the community.
Karimi, knowing the danger of disposing rubbish in not designated area, has no choice but dump them in the river. This, according to her, this mess is brought up by the city council not setting up a perfect point to dispose the rubbish.
Takataka yangu niweka kwa gunia. Narudi na beba naenda natupa mtoni. Kuna venye ndabeba takataka nikekezwa kwa barabara. Ndio sasa ukitupa mtoni ndio inaenda na maji. Takataka tunatupa ovyo ovyo na hiyo pia inaweza kukuadhiri kiafya.
venye government iliban karatasi, gunia ikakuja ikakuwa very expensive. So unapata hii gunia amwezi peana kila mahali. Kuna garbage zingine ziko watery. Sasa hata kuibeba pia inakuwa ngumu sana. Unaibeba lakini una hiyo stench unabaki nayo.
Watu wa City Council ni kama wafanyi kazi. Juu mimi naona wale wazee ndio wako, watolewa wawekwe mavijana. Kitambo kuna venye tulikuwa tunawekewa hizi madustbin. Takataka zako zikijaa, hata kama ni baada ya wiki, walikuwa wanakuja wanaokota wanaweka kwa marori.
Kwa hii community ninge-urge City Council watueleze place yenye tunafaa kuweka takataka yetu. Juu tulikuwa tunataka kuiweka karibu na barabara mali kuna hiyo access ya gari ya kanjo ikikuja inabeba kwa haraka. Gavasa ile inapeana job hizi za kuokota takataka na ku clean the city, wanafaa pia wakuje kwa hizi groups zenye zina deal na garbage. Kuna watu wenye wako na passion. Hizi group hazina hizo gears za kudeal na hiyo garbage. Gava kama inaweza provide hizi gears, inaweza kwa kitu moja maana sana, sababu saizi tuna deal na diseases mingi sana.
Operatives or people in government should get serious. They should enact policies, initiate programs geared towards conservation of our environment. So I think they should invest more in resources, time. They should engage the populace more in knowledge and capacity building on matters environment, so that we can have an environment that is protected, not just for this generation, but for the future generation. All hope is not lost. At the moment, there's this initiative by the community mappers, the trash study, the University of Twente, the slum map program, and the urban lab.
SW maps, to engage kwa another lessons in regards to how to do mappings and different aspects of environment, kujua how to integrate na segregate these kind of problems.
They are supporting young people in Nairobi, trying to understand the trash, the trends in waste disposal and waste management in Kenya, so that they can inform proper and better ways to manage our environment.
I need a clap, even if I'm not saying you can clap for me. Wow, did you hear that? Or is not trust. Or is not trust. Because we exist to better our communities. And here's a map of Nairobi. And here's the 4 areas, the distribution of the 4 areas. That is Kibra, Majengo, Mathare, and Kariobangi. So what did you find in this trash study? How was the finding? Wow, this is in Kibra. And in this study, we were looking at the size of the trash. Does the trash has fresh trash in it? Is it burned? Does it have strong odor? The content. Taking a photo, because one thing that we do as community mappers is giving life to our data collection and making sure we document each and every step, as you've seen in the video. And in Kibra, we found that we have like 752 trash locations. And there we go, the size. And as you can see in the map, and the key, we have the trash that would fill multiple trucks. The trash that would fill just a truck, just one truck, half truck, a cart, and 1 to 2 sacks. And this is a distribution of the entire Kibra. And then now we have the trash that was burned and the trash that had a very strong odor. And this, of course, contributes to the health risk, of which it's something that, of course, the communities are battling with. And even in some areas, you're having women who are having miscarriage because of the gas emissions, because most of our industries are located in the informal settlement. And so you can imagine you getting pregnant and then you miscarriage your baby. It's painful, yeah, it is, isn't it? And yeah, for the content, we were looking if the trash has wool bags, the textile, e.g. the old clothes, the plastic bags, plastic bottles or containers, the wet organic waste, fresh food, dry organic waste, dried grass, wood, sawdust, paper or cardboard, and of course the metal. And yeah, here are the photos. In each and every trash, we have a photo of it. And this is the entire 4 areas. And yeah, so after having the study, so what next? And this is the question that each and every organization, even if you're a student, that you should ask yourself, after collecting this data, what happens with this data? What do I do with it? Any initiative around that? The mapping, any initiative? Because one thing that we did, for example, you can see this Madare, and they decided to now clear these trash piles, correct this trash pile, and they rob it with the county government. And you can see this truck. This is a city county truck that is going to take this, that is taking this trash away. And by doing this, our communities will be clean again, and will be free from any contamination. And yes, here is another beautiful project that we will be involved in the month of November, the Party Map project, a project that is all about map, all about images. And this project seeks to understand our communities. And it's like, how do I call it? Like we are grading our communities in terms of development, which area is most developed. And this project is very much COVID friendly. And this is a project that will be engaging 7 communities. We've come from 4 communities, now we are engaging 4 communities. And in this project, we'll be having, of course, community mappers. Working with community is fun. Working with communities is good. You get the quality you need. We have the Party Map, the research project, financed by, of course, BESFOR. And then the 300,000 kilometers. This is not a distance. This is an organization that is called the 300,000 kilometers. And then the Neapolitans, an organization based in Nairobi. And then, of course, the community mappers in 7 communities. That is Mathare, Mukuru, Kibera, Kahawa, Soweto, Waruko, Korogocho, and Kariobangi. And let me mention that Kahawa, Soweto is an informal settlement that is in the outskirts of Nairobi. And of course, again, here is the Nairobi map again. And yeah, as I told you, the deprivation. And if I ask you people, which image do you think is more deprived? Because my answer is the image 1. Why? If you check where in the image 1, there's no road. The image 2, we have a road. In the image 1, you can look at that path, and it's like given the security wise, it's not very much secure. And in the image 2, you can see there are some businesses, there are people moving around, and even a vehicle can pass by there. I don't know what your answer is, And yes, this is a photo, a past photo taken before the COVID. Maybe you are asking, where are the masks? This was before the COVID. And this is in the informal settlement of Madare. That is where the photo was taken. And you can see they are using their phones. They're using their phones to download images. And yeah, the satellite images and the street view images. And of course, about the deprivation. And these are typical example of an informal settlement. And when I talk of data colonialism, and I look at these images, I'm like, okay, we are getting somewhere, but we have a long way to go. As you can see in the second image, we have places with roads, we have places with a lot of garbage. We have places whereby you cannot even if you are that person that doesn't like, okay, no one likes bad smell, by the way. Oh my God, there's no one likes bad smell. But there's someone that cannot pass in the image, the second image on my right, because of the strong smell. So yeah, and as I finish my presentation, I call upon each and every organization, the government, the students, to come together and think of how we can make the global south a better place, because I believe in fairness. I believe anytime you're collecting any data in the community, that data should be for a purpose. We should stop the colonialism through information, through getting information, getting data, and just keeping it with no use. For me, that is colonialism, of which it is not helping me as a person, because I don't want to get rich to get out of Kibra. I want to make Kibra better for my for the future generation. When the future generations come to keep settlers in Kibra, they'll say somebody somewhere did something. Making our communities better should be our priority as data collectors. Making our communities better should be our #1 goal as data collectors, the mappers, even the geospatial world. We should just strive to make sure that our communities are better through the information we collect. Because at times I get mad, yes, but I say it's just okay. Because maybe it's me who I'm not doing whatever I'm supposed to do. And that's why when I attended the FOSS4G in 2018, I was like, I think I failed my community. I failed my community in terms of not standing in between the gap. And that's why, together with other community members, we came up with the community mappers. And we can see we are making steps, and we are making steps because for us, we are collecting the data which is dear to us, the data which we feel, okay, if we do this and come up with resolutions and come up with good suggestions after the findings, we can make this place better. And for anyone listening to me, please let's work together. Please, if you need anything in the informal settlement, if you need I know I'm not a lecturer, but even for the lecturers, if you need something in the community, I'm here. I'm here, and I can give my small advice, and we can all make our communities very much better. And yes, this is me, and thank you so much for listening to me. Do you have any question?
Yes, we have many questions. There is also a comment from Vicky Vergara. She's from Mexico. And when you were showing the video, she said, I don't know where is that, but it looks like many places in Mexico. And then another comment says that to many similar realities in many countries, it is mandatory to help to make changes. This is really a problem worldwide in many places, also another comment, so angry that such talent and energy and creativity are busy with problems that should not be there at all. It's true, you shouldn't be there worrying about this. Your talent is elsewhere. But yeah, let's go to the Marie-Anne Babola. She says, very inspiring. Something must be done in my country, Madagascar. And Arnali says that this looks like a place in urban area in the Philippines too. So this is really worldwide. This is, you are not the only one with this problem, but you're the one with the solution, I think. So let's go to the questions. An easy one. Where can we find more information on the Party Map project?
The more information the project is we are designing the project together with Angela from Twente University. So I think she can be able to give much information about that. So she's working with the community mappers.
Okay, another question. Here. Oh, it doesn't show complete. What can analysts and data consumers do to ensure data providers are fairly representing the whole population?
Okay, please repeat the question.
What can analysts and data consumers do to ensure our data providers are fairly representing the whole population?
I think one is to understand the community exists. We have the community factor. And number two is making sure that we engage the community, because when you are analyzing, okay, for me is we have two words here, analyzing. What are you analyzing? Is that data fair in, okay, is that data even verified before analyzing? The consumers of data, who is the consumer of this data? Of course, for me, I don't know if this answer is right or correct. I am the consumer of that data. You took my information about maybe Tibera, about the maybe the trash pile. You asked me questions about the trash study. You asked me questions about the health. You asked me questions about the climate change. I think I should be a consumer of that information. When you analyze it, please bring it back to me. Let's verify together if that information is correct. And then when it comes not robbing, because now you take the data, you analyze it, you get back to the community, you verify that data, and then now we have the usage of that data. It's like a chain. And I think for the researchers and the analysts, they should make sure that the community is involved.
It makes sense, because when you see the data and you are the one the data is representing, you will see something is wrong if it's not properly collected. It makes total sense. And this is the most voted question. So what is one thing you see well-meaning researchers do wrong when collecting data in poorer countries and communities? So researchers that want to do it right.
Whoever asked that question, you have a wine from me in the evening. Okay, number one thing that the researchers do wrong. When they come to our communities, they'll pick some 1, 2, 3 peoples. They'll give them money. They'll take them to a room, train them to collect data, and then do you know what happens? It will shock you. Those people who they are taking, they are not even from that community. They are not even well versed with the geographical locations of that place. And that's why you are saying we have a lot of fake data. And I'm saying this authoritatively. We have a lot of fake data that is being published each and every day because we are having the wrong peoples on the ground who are collecting data. And one thing that the researchers should do is, one, make sure that they are working with I'm not campaigning for community mappers, but make sure in each and every community you want to collect data, make sure you involve the community members. Make sure you involve the stakeholders. Make sure, because in each and every community you have people's small organizations who are well versed with the issues of communities, and make sure you work with them, and you have very quality data, and no one is going to repute to question your final findings. Because, for instance, I'll give you, for example, an example of what happened during COVID. And there was this organization who was collecting data, and they didn't verify. And when they came back together with the government or these big peoples, and we were questioning and asking, where did you find this information? Where did you get this information? But the bottom line is making sure that we are working with the community, and we are having a lot of engagement. I know this is possible. It is possible, and we are open. By the way, we are very much open to make sure that we get the correct data, because this is the kind of data that is going to help our community. Very much open to work with researchers, very much open to work with organizations, with students, to make sure each and every digit of data they take, it's very accurate. It's like 98%. If it's not 100, it's 98%. Yeah.
Thank you. We have another question. For researchers planning research in Kenya specifically, is there a way to connect with community mappers to ensure that data is collected and delivered ethically and sustainably?
Sorry, please repeat the question. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
So researchers that want to research in Kenya, is there a way to connect with community mappers so they make sure they do the data collecting properly, ethically, and sustainably?
Of course, yes. We have a website. We have a working office. And you can see all our work at the website. You can also get us through the idea map, because we are part of the idea map project. So the website is fully working. And for us, we have a full working office which consists of 10 people, and we also have other community leaders in other informal settlement. Because for us, we believe I cannot come from Kibra to go and collect data in Mathare. I need a team from there. I cannot come from Kibra and go to collect data in Mokuru, for instance, or in Kahawa, Soweto, or maybe in Liberia, or maybe in Soweto, in South Africa. We need a team there. So, because community mappers is like a network. We have the core team, yes, but now it's a network. And yes, we are very much available. And you can get us through the website, that is www.communitymappers.org. I don't know if I answered that question well, Maria.
I think you answered this question properly. And that's the last question. I would like to ask you, because you have been talking about community mappers and you have been talking about other organizations, but what about you? How can people follow you on social media or read more about you or the things you generate, and how can they contact you?
Oh, thank you for that question. Okay, you can see my Twitter handle at, please follow me. Please follow me, people. At Nisera10ki, please follow me. Please
Okay,
go to our website.
Posted your Twitter before on the chat. I will post it
Yes.
again later. And thank you so much. And if there's no more questions.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So as we wind up, and let me say, we all have a duty. We all have a purpose, and we all need to work together in order to make sure that even because I'm a proud product of FOSS4G community, let me say that. And as I was saying, when I went to the FOSS4G 2018, that's where I realized that I have doing things wrongly. I have been doing things wrongly, and I have failed my community, and to all the peoples who are in this field of the geospatial field, and even the big organizations, and we call upon you to listen to us, and we need you to hold our hands, because for us, we cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone as an organization. We need other peoples. We need the students, and even if you want to come to Kenya and do some attachment in our office, you're most welcome. And help us interpret our data in the right way. Help us connect to other organizations. That is what I can say. And thank you so much for listening to me.
Oh, thank you for coming here, because I think your voice should be heard more. Please follow her on Twitter. And I really think you talk about important stuff that especially those of us who are not directly involved or do not see that directly, we are not aware that these kind of things are a problem. I mean, for me, of course, open data, free access to software and data, lower the barriers, that makes sense, but I can't continue my life normally without that. But
yeah,
it's really something we all should push for, because even if it's not affecting me directly, and I know we have a lot of attendees from USA, Canada, Europe that may feel the same as us, as me, that we are not affected directly, but this is something we have to fight for. I mean, that's it. Yeah, and sure. I hope people from other regions, other countries that have the same issues, maybe get in contact with you, because if you join efforts, it will probably make it easier for you. Just strategy, software.
Exactly. Let's join efforts and make Global South a better place. The immigration that you're seeing, people are going to look for greener pastures, but the greener pastures are right in our communities.
So we have another question. Do you know of other or similar organizations in other countries?
Other similar organizations. I know of Nigeria. We have an organization in Nigeria. They are unique mappers in Nigeria. And also in Tanzania. We are not working with them, but I try to look for other organizations that are in the continent that are doing the same thing that we are doing, and borrow some knowledge from them, because it's a learning experience. I am not a degree student, let me say that, but I have a degree in
they are mentioning
in a community. Yeah, I have a degree in community and experience. That is the degree that I possess, a degree in experience and in the community development. So from other guys who are maybe university, I try to listen to them, get the knowledge, how it's being done, and then with my degree in experience and with their knowledge. So that makes me better on daily basis.
They're mentioning just mappers that are in a lot of countries, and they are asking what was the name of the organization in Nigeria. If you know.
The unique mappers.
Okay, unique mappers.
Yeah, the unique mappers.
So this has been a really interesting talk. I don't know if you want to add anything else.
I'm thankful for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you for being here, because I know it's not easy, and I know you are also busy with other stuff. So this is really important for us. People like you coming here and talk to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And just a quick reminder, we have 1 hour, 15 minutes of lunch. Those who have a business-to-business meeting, the corporative and the business tickets, and the sponsors have a meeting at lunchtime in the business-to-business room, not the map, not the lunch, the room. And the rest of you, we will see you here for the next keynote in 1 hour, this same room, this same everything. Thank you so much, Nicera.
Thank you so much.